Hello, Blazing Blade Tubers. Wait, what game are we playing? And welcome back. Let's play Fire Emblem 6 with me, Bloinkulo. Roy vowed to protect Lilina. With Bairn coming full force, however, Roy's army is no equal. Aww. Therefore, he decides to try and obtain a legendary weapon. He thinks it best to obtain it before Bairn manages to get their hands on it. Lilina shows them to a cave on the outskirts of Ostia, where a legendary weapon is hidden. The cave, located at the foot of a volcano, will be no small obstacle for Roy. So hello everyone, welcome to our first optional dungeon. Okay, so we can only pick 10 for this mission, which is kind of not very many. Let's have a quick look at the map first. So we start in the right corner. We've got a long way to go. And you might notice there's these tiles. If you remember Fire Emblem 7, you took damage if you stood on them. Although you could use them to damage enemy units if you want, because they're kind of dumb. But you gotta pay attention to the ground. Lots of axe guys, some sword, magic, more axe, a little bit of bow, some more swords, a little bit of magic. Looks like there's no lance guys, so bringing our own axe guy is probably less valuable. So yeah, we want lots of swords, maybe a couple lances, and that's kind of the priority. Flying might be useful, because then you can fly over this impassable terrain. And healing might be valuable in case we take fire damage. We're fighting a sword boss who's got, sword axe boss. This is our first hero we've ever seen. He's got a lot of stats. That's a lot of speed, a lot of skill. He's gonna be scary, actually. I'm already worried about fighting him. The good news is he gets -4 attack speed because he's overcon. But yeah, that's gonna be tricky. There's not gonna be any, I don't think there's any weapon that's extra effective against heroes. You know, you can't use Armor Slayer, you can't use a Horse Slayer, or whatever, Reaver, whatever they're called. Rapiers are not going to do anything extra. Like, best you can bring is, like, someone with a lance. And then if he switches to his hand axe, someone with a sword. So that'll be interesting. He's also got, like, +3 base defense and 30% avoidance because of the throne. So that's going to make him incredibly difficult to hit. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Alright, but for now, we're going to have to worry about most of the map. So, first thing we should do is clean up our inventory a little bit. I know we picked up some items on the last map. So let's put away the... We'll keep the extra lockpick because Chad's almost broken his first lockpick. But we'll save the Pegasus promotion item and the skill promotion, or skill upgrade. For now, we'll save those for later. Loof, if we're gonna bring him, we'll need some new books. Give him at least one fire book. Clarine is looking fine. Rutger is looking good. Deke, Saul, Alan, pretty standard looking equipment loadouts here. Where's my other thief? Why is he like at the bottom? Anyway, there's Astor, that's what I'm looking for. So let's put the light brand away. This might be the kind of weapon we need to use against the boss, actually. And that's magic promotion and super axe. Got Lilina, who has at least all the basic anima magic. We can transfer the Night Crest and the lockpick away, and probably the steel lance. And I'll have a little talk about my character selection here in just a second. Always nice to get a bonus Armor Slayer, though. Not gonna argue about that. Alright, so, for the new characters, I did look up some stats. I've actually done a fair bit of research as to who will make a good party for the late game. Most of the guides don't actually recommend Astor that much. He's got pretty good base stats, but his growth are a lot worse than Chad. And unfortunately, in Fire Emblem 6, there is no promotion, so I can't turn Chad from thief to assassin. Apparently he would make an amazing assassin because his growth rates are crazy, but that's not possible in this game. There are no was it like Pirate Seal? No, it was like Earth Seal or something. They must have added that for Fire Emblem 7. So you're never going to promote Chad or Astor, but sometimes you need thieves, so you might want to bring one or both of them. But Chad apparently is generally the better of the two. Although the advantage I see right away is Astor has 3 more con, which does really help with like he can use a steel sword basically, or nearly. But anyway, that's fine. So for this battle, I don't think we need Chad at all. He's out. We don't really need the axe guys, so Lot is out. Actually, Lot is probably out permanently very soon. He's like there's 2 Lot and what's his name? The other axe guy, Wade. Those are your 2 fighters that can turn into warriors, and the warriors get axes and bows. So basically what happens is if you keep Lot, he's got better skill than Wade. So Wade is like all strength, no chance to hit, which is just too risky for me. Also very low defense. So like he is apparently not a great character. Lot is generally more recommended over Wade. And I think for me, he's actually had better luck on his skill stat than usual. But the idea is bows have much higher hit rates than axes. So once you promote him or to his advanced class, you can just switch him over to bows, and suddenly he's an archer that hits really hard and can use heavy bows because of the con. And then bows with high accuracy kind of make up for the warrior's low skill. That's kind of what I read. And again, if he doesn't have a lot of defense, using a ranged weapon kind of makes up for that a little bit. But I'm not a huge fan of archers in general, so if all he is a axe archer later on, I don't know. Shanna, she's actually almost capped her speed, which is crazy. You know, we're planning probably to get these people to level 20 before I promote them, probably. And I think 2 more speed ups and she'll have it at max, which is kind of insane. But what she really needs is strength for her to be a valuable part of the team. Loof is specifically our speed mage. His magic stat might not grow as well as his speed, but given that they're very even right now, so far so good. He actually might be our #1 pick for magery. His defense will probably stay low, but that's pretty standard for mages. His competition is obviously Lalina, and for now I'll probably bring both of them. She does apparently have some of the best growth stats for a mage, and lots of good supports. But she may suffer in skill and speed, depending on our RNG. So, like, if I get her to level 10 or 15 and her skill and speed have not grown, we'll have to bench her. Or else she'll never get double attacks and she'll miss a lot. Anima magic is pretty accurate. Like, 95 with fire. You know, it's definitely more accurate than, say, an axe. But she still needs some skill for it to work properly. So that's kind of the 2 of them. I'd like to bring both, but, you know, we'll see. I really like mages, but there will be some alternate options later on. As far as the Cavaliers go, Alan and Lance, you know by now, skill and speed versus strength. Apparently, one of Trek or Noah is kind of defense-oriented. I guess maybe Trek, because he has +1 defense at the beginning. And then Noah's advantage is his con. I think we saw this earlier. But really, either of these are just slightly worse than Alan or Lance by most of the recommendations, so we'll just stick with those 2. Sue is generally pretty well regarded, and no wonder. I'm not really a huge fan of archers, and from what I read, I think Dorothy is more of the strength-based archer, and Wolt is more of the speed-based archer. Otherwise, though, they should have very similar stats. And honestly, Wolt does have +1 strength on her right now. I'm not a huge fan of pure archers. I like having a bow as a secondary weapon. As a primary and only weapon, it's like, I don't know. Seems kind of risky. They tend to have really low defense and low HP, and, you know, they can't even counter a melee attack, so I don't like that too much. The difference is Sue and any other nomads, once they promote, they can use bows and swords, and that gives them a lot more utility, I would say. And so far, Sue looks good. Plus, of course, 7 movement. I do enjoy mobility. So we'll probably keep Sue, or possibly a future nomad that she can recruit. As far as the Armored Knights go, apparently Wendy's actually just bad. I thought a common recurring theme in Fire Emblems is you often recruit level 1 units later on in the game or in the mid-game, and they generally have low base stats and really high growth, so they have the potential to be awesome. And Lilina sort of fits that, apparently. But Wendy does not. She's actually not great. Her stats kind of favor strength and speed, which is not normally what you want on an Armored Knight, because they have relatively low maximums for those stats, especially once they're promoted to generals. So usually, she's like the more offensive of the 3 knights. Barth is super defensive in strength. And I think, what was the difference with Boars? I forget his specific statistics, but anyway, the way I read it, most people recommended that if you're going to use a knight, just take Boars. He's probably just as good as any of them, and generally don't use Wendy. I'd like to bring all 3 at least on one mission, because they have a very unique special attack if you have all 3 together. But other than that, I probably won't be using Wendy or Barth, and I'm not even sure about Boars. I feel like the low mobility is just too much of a penalty. The pre-promotes almost never get used. Ellen versus Ellen versus Saul was really just preference. They're both very, very similar, apparently. I think the difference is basically luck. Ellen has a lot more sort of growth in luck, which helps her avoid criticals, so that's good. But, on the other hand, Saul has better other stats, including skill and magic. So if you're going to promote him to a bishop, which is where we get light magic, if you want him to actually hit anything, Saul might be a little bit better than Ellen. On the other hand, low luck is definitely a liability. But we'll see. I think also the higher con, never forget that high con affects your speed stat. So maybe not so much for staves, but once we're trying to carry light magic tomes, I believe they are in the middle. I think Anima's the lightest and dark is the heaviest, and light is in the middle, I think. So you need to have a little bit of con anyway. Other than that, there's not too many other people to talk about on the party. Again, another pre-promote we're probably not going to use. Olger, I looked up his stats, and because he's a mercenary, he's good. He's actually apparently got better growths than Deke, give or take. But Deke has such amazing base stats. Like, he starts good, plus he has good growths. And he has a crazy high constitution. Olger gives up a lot of that con. And if you remember, just from looking at the boss, when they promote, they will be able to use axes as a hero. That's heroes can do that, right? So remember that axes tend to have really high cons values. So you're kind of in the situation where if you use Olger, because he's got such a bad con, he's not really very good with axes, unless he's got way more speed than you'd expect. So I'm probably not going to worry about him too much, but he's probably a reasonably good character. Mercenaries are really strong. Even a bad mercenary is a good character. But there'll be other characters joining up. Notably, we're missing a Wyvern Rider, we're missing a Shaman for dark magic, and we're missing... That's the main 2 classes we're completely missing right now. So what does that mean? I don't know. Clarine will probably turn into a Valkyrie with Anima and Staff. If I bring Clarine, I don't really need Luff and Lilina at the same time, so I don't know. But I would kind of like to get Roy and Lilina supported, so I kind of want to bring her for that. And then I kind of want to bring a priest so that when they get promoted to bishop, we can get someone with light magic. And I don't think there's a whole lot of options for that in Fire Emblem 6. So it's kind of like, I got too many mages if I bring all 4. Plus I want to bring a shaman later, which is 5. That's a lot of your party magic. And I'm already cutting back on archers. I'll probably bring like 1 nomad. And then just skip snipers entirely. But, we'll see. So for this one, we know that magic against the boss is going to be valuable. It also might be worth bringing someone like Boars. Let's see, 12 defense, because he's got this lance type versus sword type. So 21 minus 12 would be 9 damage, but he'd probably get a double. Let me just quickly check the speed here. So he'd be doing 12 attack speed, assuming there's no crazy boss buffs. So 12 attack speed versus Boar's, his best is 8. So he will always be doubled unless he gets his speed +1. So we're talking about like 21 damage minus 12 times 2 plus kind of crazy high skills, so he's probably not going to dodge it. I feel like I don't think that's actually enough defense. That's going to be hard. I still don't know how I'm going to kill that boss. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll bring the double mage for now. I'll try to get Lilina some level ups. See how she does. We're going to bring Shanna for flying. I think what I wanted was more lances and swords, so bringing Alan and Lance might be the way to go. Archers, of course, aren't bad. Rutger's pretty good. He's apparently, there are a couple Myrmidons, but Rutger is supposed to be really awesome, so kind of like, he's basically Deke tier, except Myrmidon rather than Mercenary. I think Deke is better right now, but we'll see what happens. And I might need a really good sword guy against the boss if he switches to his hand axe. So I guess we'll go with this party. I wish I could bring Sue. Wish I could bring... well, mostly Sue. But yeah, we'll give this a try. Sorry for the little ramble here early on, half the episode. Well, we'll go longer than 30 minutes, don't worry. Just wanted to talk a little bit about my plans, and then I gotta start thinking about who I'm going to support with each other. So I gotta pick my final party, or at least my probable final party soon, so I can start building those up. Uh-oh. This guy again. We've seen this little punk, right? Yeah, good thing we're only allowed to bring 10 people in here. Enemy gets like 30. Oh, that's just rude. I figured we'd have to bring Lilina on this map anyway, seeing as she's leading us here. I feel like I would be neglectful not to add her to the final party, so I really hope she doesn't turn out terrible. She seems like a plot character. She should probably just be a female lord, but lords are not allowed to be magic. They have to have like a sword or something, or an axe. Seems to be the rule. Ooh, Roland's sword. Didn't we get that in that other game we played? That Eliwood used near the end? Ah, interesting. It was a pretty good sword. I think the weakness was it was really, really heavy, and Eliwood couldn't actually get double attacks with it. I'm surprised your dad didn't tell you about it, Roy. Sounds like a plan. Alright. I could have rearranged my layout as well. Alright, so I'm thinking... unless they're really low level... they're not high level, actually. 5-6 level, other than, like, maybe this one guy. Gotta remember he's got a halberd. That's dangerous for my cav. Let me have a quick look at the weapons to see if there's anything like a killer lance that I need to watch out for. Air Caliber is going to be quite strong against Shani. So one of the mages is dangerous to Shani. Check out which one that is. So the one by the boss is dangerous to flyers. We've got an Armor Slayer, but I didn't bring any knights anyway, so that doesn't matter. Ah, Killing Edge, look, look. This guy, watch this guy, he's special. Alright, I think that's about all we need to worry about then. Oh, the halberd, I guess. So this guy over here is a little bit more dangerous for Lance and Alan. Okay, we're being thorough these days. Okay. So we've got Air Caliber. We've got Killing Swords. This is the worst. And then we just gotta be a little bit careful with this guy. Okay, let's get to work. So I'd like to go left first, clear this out, and then move up the path. So this might take a little while to clear everything out, but well, you know the drill by now. Alright, so what do you two have? Steel swords, iron swords. So the goal is kind of to get Lilina a couple levels up here, I think. She's the only one really low level. I guess if you brought Wendy or Olger, this might be a good time to grind them up a little bit. But if we're going to be a lot higher level than the enemies, we're not going to get a ton of XP out of them. We're just going to try to lure them closer here. And then we'll let, or we'll try at least to let Lilina finish one or two of them off. Or whoever needs some XP. Roy probably could get another kill, honestly. Oh, I guess well, I don't want to use my supports until I know for sure. You can go up here. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright. Okay, took the bait. Now, Lance might just double hit and kill here. In fact, given that they're pretty low levels, I suppose we should have expected that. But Alan's not quite as fast. I don't know. Alright, good. We got a good target for Lilina, I think. There's actually quite a lot of enemies on this map. It's pretty linear looking, but... Lots of fire. So we've got a level 3 that could be killed. Could also try to let Lilina get like the level 5 kill, because that'd get her more experience, right? You know what I mean? Could probably set it up like this pretty easily, pretty safely. Rutger might get shot by the archer next turn, but... Well, 18% is pretty low. Yeah, so I figured I was willing to risk it. Oh, I didn't check if Lilina can actually get this far. Yeah, just enough. Alright, and then we can just use safety fire in the volcano. I just want to get her a level up or two to get some speed if I can. Just hope that she gets some speed. Come on, Lilina. Just a little bit of speed and we'll be set. You know, magic damage is great, but, like, hoping for some speed. Alright, who else? Guess we'll try to get Roy a kill. That's pretty good, actually, Loof. That was a lot of damage you can do there. Okay, we'll let Lance sort it up, maybe. That's actually perfect. That doesn't quite kill him. And it'll get him lots of experience for his sword. Remember that my calves need to rank up their sword skill before much longer. Even if we're not getting experience, we're getting weapon experience. Alright, so the enemy axe guys don't look particularly threatening. I guess most of the enemies are relatively low levels, so... Critical of 5 is not very much. 10 luck should negate that. I may have brought too many healers. Maybe I should have only brought one healer because it's such a small map. Like, I want Alan to start working on his sword skill. I don't like it when you're only allowed to bring a few characters. Like, I start planning my party around, I don't know, 12 to 16 units, and then they cut me down to 10. But I guess that's kind of how a lot of these Gaiden movies work, Gaiden levels work, whatever you want to call it. We'll watch some Angry Video Game Nerd. Ninja Gaiden. Sure, a little bit of magic stats, never gonna hurt. I think this guy's just gonna come charging us anyway, so we'll just wait for him. Oh, I should have double-checked that Lilina would be safe here. 15 damage, no speed. Well, she's got 17 HP, so she's not gonna die, but if she gets hit, it's gonna hurt. Tell you what, if you want to fight with... No. I'm gonna save kills for Lilina if I can set it up. Alright, just making sure. Seeing as all the enemies from the left side are charging towards us, I figure we'll just wait for them and that'll work. Alright, Lilina. Show me your moves. No moves. I mean, at least she broke even, but that hurts. I gotta watch one of those axe guys, because one of them has the deadly halberd. This guy up here. Keep an eye on him for sure. Okay, so we're gonna have a tomahawk, or sorry, hand axe coming in from that side. So we could let Lilina kill at least one here. We just need to move Rutger out of the way, basically. Well, actually, what's her accuracy? 100%? Nothing to worry about. I was thinking you could move her adjacent. One of the real advantages of mages is you can move adjacent to archers and have no counter, or you can move ranged from melee and have no counters. But 100% accuracy kind of makes that null. Alright, we're going to pull you back then. So... see if Shanna has enough in her to kill this one. 10 damage times 2, she sure does, if she doesn't miss. I'm surprised at how low her accuracy rates are, actually. I did read, apparently, in Fire Emblem 6, it's got lower overall hit rates than a lot of Fire Emblem games. Something about the calculations or the stats. A lot of characters and enemies just have lower than average chance to hit. Alright, so Shanna might get attacked by the Myrmidon, but she should be fine. Yeah, she takes 7 damage, but there's no way he's getting a double off on her. She'll probably double back. And she's got enough luck, she shouldn't need to worry about criticals. She could be healed up, but... well, you know what, this is... no, I was thinking like I could put a healer up here, but... I'm just trying to think if I should block up the road just to top her up. Nah, she's fine. Nothing to worry about. There, now she's getting healed anyway. No, wrong one. We'll be able to keep her, we'll keep Saul safe. That's fine. And, yeah, this guy can attack one person. I probably should have switched to Iron Lance, but I messed that up. It's fine, don't worry about it. Nothing serious. Alright, went after Shanna. 6 damage is not going to be enough. Especially when she gets a counter crit. You fool! Falling for the oldest trick in the book. Alright, well the good news is... I know who's got the halberd. So we're going to deal with him. He's level 10, so that's the most experience. Too far away from Lilina this time anyway. So Lilina can deal with this guy. Or at least she can try. How's her damage looking? She's not fast enough. 13 damage is pretty good. This is fine. Again, a low chance of being hit. Gotta love those dancing Myrmidons. And again, that gives Lilina a fairly good kill. Still want to give her a few more level ups to give her a chance to get the stats she needs. That's fine. Don't want to move upwards too aggressively. Okay, now for the interesting part. Not that the halberd is super scary. We just have to be careful because, like, this would be suicide, I expect. Yeah. One shot dead. Well, he only has a 33% chance, but still, that'd be silly. So how about, like, someone like Roy takes them out? What do you think? 9 damage times 2 is not enough. What if we softened him up a little bit? A lot. That would just kill him. Okay, what if, Deke probably just kills him. Yeah, that'll just kill him too. Look, Roy, you're not terribly great here. Does it work against, Yeah, I think it gets bonus damage against, flyers too then, maybe, right? 21 base? No, it's definitely way more effective against Cav. But that's still way more damage than I can soak, right? That's 15. I guess if I healed up... I'm just trying to get Roy a kill here. I guess we'll give it a try. I'm pretty confident we can save her. If things go poorly here. Alright, so Roy can do... Let me just double check real fast. He will do 18 damage. So she needs to do 10. The Slim Lance will get her 10 if she hits both times. Iron Lance would get her 16, but higher chance of missing. So we'll go Slim. And he only had a 29% chance, so pretty safe. Okay. And she even gets a level up. Woohoo! Well, you know, we were talking about her capping out her speed stat. One more of those level ups, and that's done. One thing that is apparent, I read as well, is Fire Emblem 6, Binding Blade, that is, has less resistant Pegasus Knights than future Fire Emblem games. And I believe Shanna is one of the best at magic resistance there is. The other Pegasus Knights are actually worse than her for resistance. So, as much as later in games, Pegasus Knights are really good mage killers, in this one they're not as good. Like, they're still good, don't get me wrong, but the classic high resistance Pegasus is we're a little bit early in the series to get too much of that. Come on, Roy. 4 stat ups. None of the ones I really wanted for him, but that's okay. Good luck on the on your main character is not bad, and good speed is a good idea as well. Like, having the defensive stats might be more important with Roy anyway, just so I know he's safe. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, if Luth turns out awesome, and so far he's doing great, I don't mind keeping him on the team. Speed and a little bit of defense. Lucky him. Alright, Alan or Deke. Well, Alan can kind of catch up quicker. And, oh, he does not get a double attack. Alright, well then we'll probably have to use Deke to kill him. He will definitely do the job. I still would like Alan to get some more sword XP, so I'm going to do this even though it's not necessary. Also, thank you, Train. I appreciate that. Yeah, we didn't need to bother with that. Deke could have handled it, but if we don't get to D-rank swords, we'll never be able to use steel swords, and you know, sometimes... Well, if you're a Cav that has good con, you want to use your steel weapons. Alright, and then this side, nothing much happening right now. Start catching up. Anybody need some heals? Train is really angry with me today. I guess, unless we're running really short, yeah, 16 slots. Alright, well, so far so good. Don't let me forget that there's a killer sword in the middle. It didn't do any damage, no. If he's standing right on top of it. So don't let me forget. Killing Edge, bad news. And Armor Slayer doesn't matter too much. Right, I think that's the only weapons we've really got to watch out for the next little section. So, it looks like this mage might not attack. I'll move a little bit closer just to see if we can lure them out, because I see they're kind of hiding behind 3 fire tiles. That'll be fine. If they do attack, we'll equip the javelin for counters, and then we'll start moving the rest of the team to catch up. But, you know, not standing in the fire. Can't recommend that. This is why we wanted the flyers. So I'm pretty sure the hardest part of this chapter will be the boss. And noticing that there's a Killing Edge mercenary, but other than that. I suppose there would be strategies here where you could have Shanna pick someone up, fly them over, maybe like at this end, just fly them up here, and then I guess that might save some time. You could sort of ferry some people over. You could do it, well, that's the only place that really makes sense. You could do it here as well, but I don't know. Okay, so the mage didn't take the bait. If I use Shanna, she can be hit by this mercenary. But he only has 11 attack. Not much. He's got a mighty defensive too. Alright, so she's a pretty good match for the Thunder Mage. Hellfire wasn't going to kill her or anything, so that's not going to do it. So do I just leave her here? The Thunder Mage will not do any significant damage to her. Like 1 by the looks of it. So then how much will Mr. Bandit do? He'll have 10 speed and 11 damage. Minus 2 is 9. But 10 speed is enough to double attack on her. And that would be enough then to kill her. So, what does that mean? It means we can't leave her out like that. Not without some protection. I think maybe I'll still let her kill the mage. We may as well let the rest of the party catch up anyway. There's no need to rush, I don't think. So then we can try to push forward next turn rather than right now. I guess we give them a chance for the archer to catch up there. Alright, well now, finish him. Good job. Now give me some stats. Come on, Lilina. She did! Skill and speed! Very good. If she can just get a few more skill speed level ups like that, she'll be set. You know, the luck wouldn't hurt either, but that's fine. Alright, so... we actually might want to pull her out of the way again. Steel bow, and then just try to lure the enemies down a little bit, because they're kind of bunched up here. Yeah, I'm okay. I think that's probably the right idea here. So we'll want to use someone not a flyer and someone that can handle 10 speed, 11 damage. I think Alan will be fine. We'll heal him up. And try to get his sword skill up a little bit more. If I'm going to keep Alan and Lance, I could have them support each other as well. I'm just always waiting to see if they end up getting terrible level ups and having to bench them before I make that call. That's why I'm not selecting the support option yet. That's all. Yeah, so I didn't do the math, but I was pretty sure Alan would be fine. You should always do the math if you want to be smart on a Fire Emblem. The archer did more damage than I was expecting. Oh. And apparently I put Lance in the spot to lure this guy down. That's fine. And that wasn't quite the plan. Oh. Wow, sucks to be that guy, doesn't it? I don't know if those are random or if it just hurts you no matter what. Like, if you stand on one of those squares, it just automatically targets you or not. Alright, so... how do we want to organize? Again, especially after Lilina got a good level up, we should probably use her again. I'm thinking Rutger against the axe guy, because he'll slaughter him for sure. I do like Rutger, he's definitely growing on me. Kind of like him and Clarine to get support, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. B rank sword is not bad. It's not B for bad, don't worry. But yeah, you can see like this bandit would have had +4 speed on her, which would have been quite terrible if I left her in his attack range. Alright, so we got... we don't really want to stand in the fire. We do have this guy coming at us. Steel sword, 14 damage. So we can probably use Shanna to sort of lure him down as long as as long as we don't have to worry about the archer killing her, and she's not going to do enough damage. What if we went like this? Oh, this should just kill him. Luf might take a hit, but he'll survive. And the archer will not. Yeah, you know, so far Luf's pretty good. Alright, this lets us heal up now. Should have given an extra heal staff to Saul, probably. We're definitely gonna need another town with shopping before too much longer, obviously. Skill and speed, eh? Alright, so we're not... oh! Ah! Luf is actually too close. I thought that would be safe. Well, that's no big deal. That's a hand axe. Hand axe will do 1 less damage, 15% worse hit rate. I think Lance or Alan will be fine. We'll only do that attack if I know we'll kill him. And that's not enough to guarantee it. What if we let Lance throw a javelin at him? It's kind of not high enough accuracy, actually. So what we'll do instead is we'll just make a bit of a wall here. Just so that we're protecting Luf, basically. And we'll move, we'll just move Shen up a little bit. Gotta be careful of these fire tiles. I guess this guy did have a chance to critical against Lance, but still 18 damage would not have been enough. Alright, do we have another Lilina target? Probably. You betcha. Yeah, as long as I'm seeing like 90% against these mercs, I think Lilina's accuracy is not bad. Well, I suppose it might be time to cut the episode, unfortunately. We're already at 45 minutes, which is pretty long for an Ankylo episode. We'll finish this round, I suppose, and We'll save the rest of this one for the next time. It's nice to have a little chat with, like... Oh yeah, we let him attack, that's fine. Just planning out kind of how I want to, you know, build up my team and all that. I like that kind of stuff. I like researching into games, doing a little bit of min-maxing, you know. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I like to at least make an attempt at it. Let's see if Roy survives. Ah, he's fine. Look at that, 12%. That's not gonna work on my man, Mr. Roy. Alright, let's call that an episode. We've done a good start. Next episode will be the challenge, though. Dealing with Henning is gonna be tough. Just terribly good stats, so don't let me forget, next episode, Mercenary with Killing Edge, or Bandit, and that's fine, so that's the main one. Alright folks, thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for The Blazing Sword.